There are 3 questions we're going to answer on page 38 in your packet. It says changes in allele frequency over time. We see in year 1 the proportion of 2 copies of allele Z is here, whereas it becomes greater in year 50. It says the graphs illustrate change in a lizard population over time. Which process most likely led to the change in lizard population? Is it natural selection acting on a harmful trait, natural selection acting on a beneficial trait, natural selection acting on a dominant trait, and natural selection acting on a recessive trait? This is a difficult question to answer because you're not given a whole lot of information, but you are given the information that there are 2 copies of allele Z, but does that mean that they are recessive? Most likely, yes, given this first year. Is it natural selection acting on that recessive trait, allowing it to continue? Most likely, it's the B. We know for sure that as it increases because it's beneficial, it would be B. Let's look at the second question. In North America, the eastern spotted skunk mates in late winter, and the western spotted skunk mates in late summer. Even though their geographic ranges overlap, the species do not mate with each other. What would most likely prevent these 2 species from interbreeding? And most likely, because it is letting us know when their mating seasons are and they are not the same, it would be reproductive isolation, that they do not reproduce at the same time, so therefore they won't reproduce with one another. The last one, a mutation occurs in the genes that code for coat color in deer. Which change will most likely result from this mutation? A change in the selection pressures acting on the coat color, a change in the coat color genes of deer predator species, an increase in coat color diversity in the population, an increase in the number of genes for coat color in the population. And so because it occurs, we would have an increase when there is a mutation. We would have an increase in coat color diversity within the population because we would assume that that gene will be passed on.